this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make a simple ball game in Unity. So let's get into the video. First, you create a cube, make the Z15, the X15, oh no, not 115, just 15, and then the Y 0.5. Then you should rename it ground. And then I create another object, a sphere here, and call it player. Move the sphere on top of the ground object, like so. Now we have our base object, so let's create the colors. So create a new folder, call it material. Materials, it's just optional, but I recommend doing it as just much more organized, and it's a good habit. Now select a new material and press green, and then do the same thing and call this one red. So with the red one, you're gonna turn it to red. I'm gonna make like a really light and soft red, like an orangish red. And then green, make grass green, like this, like really light green, because this is going to go on the floor and the reddish is going to go on the cube. Now you're going to get the camera, move it down a bit, like move it right here. No, like a bit more forward, like here would be good. There. Now you want to get the player, add component rigid body. Just search RIG, then you'll get rigid body. Then you're going to make this 4.5 just for the rolling ball effect. And so now you're going to create another folder and call it prefabs. This video doesn't necessarily need prefabs. I'm just going to use them because if you're making a bigger project, a prefab is good to have because you can just drag and drop it into any scenes. If you create a new one, drag and drop it anywhere, and it's like a template really. Then go in here. Make sure everything's there. It is good. Next thing you want to do is exit it with a tiny arrow. Create new folder, call it scripts. Double click into scripts and create C# script. Call it player movement. Double click into player movement. It'll show you this if you have Visual Studio. So once you get into Smooth Editor, most likely load Visual Studio. And once it loads, first you want to go up here and type in public float speed equals 30f. Make sure to type this, and it's basically just saying speed. Floats can turn to decimals. You should always use floats if it's things like speed. Then public lets you edit it in the software. I'll show you once we get back to Unity. Public rigid body, oh oops, I already wrote rigid body. Rigid. There. Next thing you want to do is private. Oops. What? Private. Okay, I'll just use this. If you're stuck on a spelling, you can do that. Then float X input semicolon. Then you can just press Ctrl V, Control C to copy, Control V to paste. Then you can just change this to Y. Simple. Next, you should move this ahead because the order of things matters in scripting. So then public void and then create a new function underneath start, write private void inputs, then enter. Then you actually forgot to add this, then press enter. Then you have to make these the curly brackets. Then you're good to go. Now inside you just type x input is input dot get axis, not get axis raw, just get axis. Get axis raw has no smoothing. Get axis has smoothing, and you want when you roll to ball to be smooth. So now you want to type horizontal. There. Semicolon, Control C, Control V, and type in Y input. Actually, it makes sense because we don't want to go up and down. Y is up and down, but like the W and S keyboards are considered Y, but I'll do Z instead because that'll make more sense. Then type in vertical. And vertical and horizontal, so A and D keys, or the left and right arrows, are horizontal, and W and S are vertical, up and down. But we want to change the vertical into flat movement, because we don't want the ball to jump. Okay, then we can create another private void, fit void move. Then, not on animator move. If Unity does this, just another function, but it's not, we don't want to do that. Just regular move. Type in rigid dot add force new vector tree, then shift, then add some more curly braces, X input 0F Z input. And you might have to change this to negative Z input depending on which direction the camera is facing. So yeah. Now inside of void update we type in inputs like this. Oh, no. It's showing an error because always add a semicolon. Excuse me, sorry about that. Unless it's something like void update, you should always add a semicolon. So, or curly braces, they don't need semicolons either. So now, inside of start, rigid is get component and then type rigid body and then semicolon. There. Just in case you don't type it in the editor, it'll just do this automatically. Then add here fixed. Also, private void and void are basically the same thing. Void is automatically private. It just says that if you want to. It's just optional. Then move. And that should be it. Save it. And it should load like this. Then drag it onto the player. Click on the player and select your rigid body. Drag and drop it there. Oh, excuse me again. Sorry about that. And let's. Everything should be working. Oops. If it doesn't move, then we have to review the code. So we added player movement script. Yep. Oops, sorry about that. Here, Visual Studio, ball game. Now we get, so move there, like it's supposed to be. Update is here with inputs. Inputs has all the inputs inside. Move. Let's see if there are any problems with move. Aha! I forgot to multiply it by speed. Make sure you do the little asterisk symbol. It should be above the 8s. Press shift and press 8. Then speed. Make sure to do that. I forgot to do it. Now that that's added, this should be working. It'll reload the script now. Sometimes it takes a while. Press play. Then, oh, I must have double clicked. Sorry about that. Now if you press play, it should work. Yes, see, it works. As you can see, the ball rolls around. And it rolls perfectly. If you roll off, you're just gonna have to press the play button again. That's how you make a ball. Now, if your camera's on the other side, let me just show you. Here. Then just type 1. If your camera's on the other side, for some reason, then you're going to have to either move the camera to there or go in the script and type in negative Z input and negative X input. But for this, I'll just move the camera back to where it was with Control Z. There. And now I'm going to show you how to put the camera inside the ball so it follows. First, you want to create another script. Create a new C# script called cam. Type in cam follow. Go in, it'll show you the C# values. Just click, by default, click cam follow, and you might not need start, but first you make transform public transform. Make sure it's public, and you should call it target, which is the thing it's meant to follow. Then public vector tree diff, actually offset. There. Now transform dot position equals target plus offset. This should be working. Equals target dot position plus offset. There. This should be good. Then drag and drop this onto your camera. If this doesn't work, then you might have to add dot offset to the vector tree. Then add it to the camera, as you can see here. Then drag and drop your player in here. Then the Y should have like 2 and Z negative tree. Let's see if this works. Okay, the script does work, but you have to modify this and test it out yourself. So I think, yeah, 50, actually 6 and -7 seems to work. Yeah, and now if you move the ball, you see the camera moves, but the camera doesn't rotate. If you just drag and drop the camera inside the player, then the camera will be all over the place rotating. As you can see, it doesn't. And now you can change the camera however you want. If you want to change the rotation, you're gonna have to go into here. Oh no, oh, whew, nearly fell off. Oh, oops, ooh, okay. Then the camera, gonna change this back to 0. Oh no! The ball keeps trying to fall off when I'm trying to change the settings. This is the fun thing to experiment with. You can make levels. So I'm going to get the player, and I fell off. Okay, well, now I'm gonna do a little time lapse starting now. Okay, I'm back. Now I just did a little obstacle course, I guess. Let's see if I can make it. Okay, I forgot to do one little thing. I forgot to adjust the camera, so the measurements were 4 and 7, I believe. Let's see, was I right or was I wrong? I was wrong. 4 and -7? I think it might have been. I feel like it might be 5 and -7. Oh no, 3. Actually, no, -7 is too much. -6. There, this is good. Now I'm gonna do this direction first. Just climb up that hill, go down this ramp, whee, and oof. Okay, I completely missed the ramp. Okay, resetting. Gonna go this way. Wee, wing. Then I can go up this ramp, up onto here. Let's see if I complete a full lap. I almost said wrap. So here, yeah, complete a full lap. And now, iconically, I have to die. Wee. Okay, that's the video. See you next time. Out of here.